What makes a great story?
Great story, I think, has to be honest. And that's a weird thing to say because it could be fictional. But when I say honest, it needs to be honest. It needs to, it needs to have a theme that you believe. You, as a filmmaker, you want to tell a story that is something that you believe. I think it was Scorsese was saying, make it personal, to tell a personal story. And I've had to come at it different ways because I've had more commercial films come at me. So it's not that I generated the idea sometimes, but I have to make it personal. The Wedding Singer, I had my heart broken a million times. I applied things that I knew. I knew, just when your heart's broken, and you meet a new girl, your ex comes back in a black dress. Like, I think it's a great story is honest and it's truthful. And emotional honesty for me too in the storytelling is important. When I read a script, I have to believe that the character will do a certain thing. Because the minute a character doesn't do what an audience would do, it loses the audience. Even if they don't consciously take it in, it's when people start to get distance. But to relate to the character and he makes choices. And then you get into movies and you get situations where you're like, I'll use The Wedding Singer for example. In the script, Julia, Drew's character, her boyfriend has to admit to Adam's character, Robbie Hart, that he cheats on her. And I'm like, okay, well, when would a guy ever tell the best friend, guy friend, that he cheats on her? So I'm like, how could we make this work? Because it's obviously a high drama point in the story and it makes the rest of the story be told really well. So when we reconstructed the scene and when I directed and the writing, I thought, well, how do you get this guy to do that? You play into his ego. And so in that scene, I don't know if you remember, but Adam notices Glenn Guglia checks out the hot waitress when she bends over. And he's like, all right, this guy's not on the level. That's not cool. If he's not in love with my best friend that I'm falling in love with. And he goes, oh, yeah, we used to get girls like that. And he's like, Adam's character says something like 10 years ago. Yeah, probably 10 years ago. And then like Glenn Guglia says, yeah, tried 10 days ago. And like he baits him in and it's all ego and it's believable. And so when I read a script, the emotional honesty is everybody has to do things that you believe. So sometimes if you're boxed into a plot turn, you have to make sure it works for everyone. You have to make sure you sell it and that you would believe. And when you watch that scene, you're like, that guy would fall for the bait. And then he goes on and on, tells us about how he cheats on his wife in the city, and you don't question it. And so, yeah. What was the original question? How do you tell what's a good story? It has to be honest and true and meaningful. And sometimes it's the simplest story. Love is good, but you see a movie to experience love is good, and sometimes it's a more complex, emotion. I did Click, and it was about, fast forwarding through your life and you kind of, he wishes his way through all the bullshit of life and the theme of the movie is like, life is what happens when you're living it. It's like you shouldn't speed through it. So it's nice to just have relatable. It's nice when a story is relatable to the most part, I think, and just to be honest.
John Lennon, I think, is, life is what happens while you're making other plans.
Yeah, okay. Well, I like quoting great people like that.
Yeah. I think someone had a bumper sticker of it.
One of my other favorite quotes is, you don't fail until you stop trying, Einstein.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
All these got me this far, so I'm going to go with Einstein and John Lennon.
Yeah, that's a good one.